Hello everyone, and how are you? My name is Mahino Bark. I'm with Dr. Drake, the senior lecturer on this call. I welcome you to our second session of SQL injection, right? So in the previous session, we looked at a few things whereby we looked at how you can create a PHP project, how you can create a database, how you can connect your project to the database, and we also went ahead and saw how we can design a simple form for registration with a simple landing page whereby you have a menu, and if someone wants to register, they click on register, they take it to registration form. They click on login, they're taken to the login form. So that's what we looked at, and then we also went ahead, we designed those interfaces of login and we designed the interface of registration. We went ahead and designed the logic of collecting the username from the form and inserting the data from the into the database. Went ahead and discussed about password hashing and why we need it and how we do it. So with that much said, in this second session, we are going to proceed from where I stopped at the previous session. And if you are lost in the previous session, the video is there and the link will be in the description of this video. So make sure you understood the previous things so you can be able to proceed with these ones. All right, let's go straight now into business. So I'll open my project. There it is. So right now I'm going to design the simple login page, and then once we have those two, we'll go ahead and start demonstrating different kinds of SQL injection that are already known. All right, let's go ahead and design the login page. So this is the sign up page. So I don't need to repeat myself. I'm just going to get the same thing, the same login page, the same registration page, and duplicate it and modify it so it can be the sign-in page. Okay, so let's do that. So it is in register.php. So come here, register.php here, and then I say Ctrl A, select all, and then come here to login.php, Ctrl A, Ctrl V. So I paste there. So everything that was in registration form is now in what? Is now in login form. So let's go ahead and refresh our login page. So if we come to our login page,
Mubarak.
yes, sir.
Sorry, guys. I didn't know my mic was muted. It was unmuted. Secondly, I'm stepping out briefly for some short conversation. So you just continue with the work. Hopefully the students are enjoying. But I see we are only 76. We should be at least like 80 something. So class rep, keep your colleagues on. We are not going to be, we shall not repeat this very important topic, and trust me, it will appear in your exam. Okay?
Okay.
So Mubarak, kindly
Yes.
continue till the very end.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go ahead and delete unnecessary thing that we don't need to login page. On login, we just need only two fields, the username and password. So let me go ahead and remove this name part. Okay. So I'll come here and search for the name, and then I delete this guy, and then I'll go ahead and delete the country, so you can remain with what? With username and password. I've already changed the title from register to no internet. I left it. No. Load on. Oh, I left my. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So I've changed the login name. The title to login. I have the username and password. Okay, that's what we need on login page. And then I'm going to change here from register to login. So I'll come here and change login. Beautiful. So you have login there. Okay, so after that, let's go ahead and now change and write the logic for logging in. So I'm going to change here. So I'm just going to come here and rename and duplicate this guy of register logic. I'm going to duplicate it and rename it as the login logic. So that's where we'll do the logic of what? Of login. Login.php. There you go. So I'll come and modify here and change the action. So remember the action is still under register. So I'll come and change it to login.php, login logic.php. So if I come refresh, so I'm here, login logic.php. So let me come to login logic.php and try to remove unnecessary things. Okay, let's stop from here. Just let me first remove. I don't need username. I don't need password. I don't need name. I need all the password. Okay, let me delete everything so we are together on the same point. So there we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh. So I want when someone clicks on submit, it should take us to loginlogic.php. So this is the place where we're going to do the logic of what? Of logging in. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh. I'll come and enter my first name, my username and password. So I'll enter the username, which is JP, and enter the what? The password, which is maybe 12345. Okay, so I click on what? On let us be should we begin with correct info? Let us begin with wrong information. Okay, so wrong username, right? Wrong username. So I submit. Okay, so it is now on the login logic.php. So let me first expose the data that has been submitted. So to expose it, I'll just simply come login.php and then put echo pre-tag like this, and then write print underscore r, and then put $ underscore post, and then semicolon here. So this one will dump everything that has come in the post or that has been sent. So you can see we have the username and password. So let's go ahead and correct and collect them. So to collect them from the from the data from the form, we just say username equals to post. However, there are so many things that you have to do before you start collecting it. But for now, I
Excuse
want to
me,
save
sir.
time. Yes, and then the password. Yes, please.
What does the echo PRE do?
Oh, okay. I'm going to explain that. Okay, so uh, here looks like this one. So if I remove this guy, you're going to see. Can you see? So it looks like that. So echo pre-tag, a pre-tag is a HTML element that will make things to look exactly as how they are. You know, in HTML, if I do something like this, for example, if I do something like this, I've deleted everything. So if I do something like this, can you see? It is being seen as one line, right? But yet I put here these new lines. But if you put a pre-tag, okay, a pre-tag like this and refresh, you see, everything is taken exactly the way it is. That is the meaning of pre-tag. So if I remove the pre-tag, you'll see HTML remove the unnecessary spaces. If I put the pre-tag, HTML will take everything in the way it is. So that's why I'm putting the pre-tag here. So if I remove the pre-tag, you'll see our array will be displayed in that way. So it is hard to understand, most especially when the array is too big. So if you want it to be organized, you put a pre-tag, you echo the pre-tag, so it can be displayed exactly as it was in the dumped by PHP. Did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here I collect the username and password. I've collected them. So after collecting the username and password, The next thing is now to get this user from what? From database. So let's go ahead and write the logic, the SQL that is going to get this user from database. So I can just simply say SQL equals. So this is how we write the SQL for getting data from database. It says select all, okay, from, and then write the table name, which is users. And then you put a condition, because if you do like this, it will bring you all of the users in the data in the table. So I need to put a condition. I want to get a user who has this particular username that has been submitted. So I say select all from users, and then I put where, like this, username equals to, then I put this colon, quotes, and then I put what? I put the username like this, okay? Like this, okay? You can as well surround it with a curly bracket. So that is our SQL that is going to get for us the data of a user who has the username that has been submitted. So let us go ahead and dump this SQL and see how it looks like. So to dump, you can as well, if it is a string, you can as well use die. Die means it should display what you have passed and then stop executing from there. That's the meaning of die. So if I come and refresh, you'll be able to see our SQL, which is select all from users, where username equals to whatever username that was submitted. So it sounds like a real good what? A real good SQL that does not have problems. So after looking at your SQL is the right one, so the next thing, you go ahead and execute that SQL. So let me execute this SQL. So to execute the SQL, it's not going to be different from how we inserted. Okay, so executing is just also like the way we inserted. So I'll go ahead and copy this logic that we did here for connection. So I'll come and copy the connection and then the query. Okay, so I'll copy this guy. So I'll first make connection. So this is our connection. You still remember? Then this is our query here. So the difference is here, this query is for selecting. We are fetching something from database. The other one was for inserting something in the database. So since this we need something from the database, it means that we have to expect something from what? From database. So if you expect something from database, then it means you have to wait for it. So this query will send us back something called a resource. So a resource equals to my SQLi query, and then you pass the SQL. So let us go ahead and get this resource and then display it here. So let me go ahead and display whatever has come back from what? From database. Okay. So I'll just simply come and say echo and then put printer print underscore r and then pass the resource that has come from database. So if I come and refresh, we'll be able to see the data that has come from database. Okay, so this is what we call a what? This is what we call a resource. Okay, so once you have this resource, let me first write a wrong SQL and I see what will come back. So it will give us what? An error, just in case we wrote something wrong. Okay, so let's go ahead and see. So this is okay. This is a what? This is a resource. So this resource, it will give us just a simple description or a snippet of what has come back from the what? From the database. It will tell us the current field, the word, the length. The most important, it will tell us the number of rows that have been returned. So you see, the number of rows that have been returned is 0, meaning that there is 0 user who has the same username that we've provided. So how can I access this guy, this 0? I can access it, since they say it's an object. I can access it by pointing at it like this. Resource, okay, resource, and then do like this. So if I come and refresh, so you see, I'm able to access this 0. So it means that if the number of rows that have been returned is 0 or less than 1, what does it mean? It means that the user was not found. Okay, so if someone enters wrong username and it's not found, you have to take them back and tell them, hey, you entered wrong username. Or we can even display it from here. But let me show you the other way around, like displaying, okay, from the other side. So we have to check after receiving the resource. We have to check if the number of rows are greater than what? Greater than 0. So if it is less than 1, then you know it is 0. Okay. So I can die here and say user name not, or user not found. Okay. Or we don't know you. User not found. So it means that this is the scenario when someone enters a what? A wrong username. So user not found. This will be executed when the number of rows that have come back are less than 0. So I can go ahead and redirect this user back or something like that. So here we will die from there and say maybe user not found, okay? Or wrong username. Wrong username. Okay, let us redirect this guy back, okay? So to redirect back, we just simply put header, okay? So you put header and then say login.php. So if you're a new person in programming, you'll understand. So here I'm sending back the person, but I want to send him back with the what? With the message. So if I want to send him back with a message, I'll have to put question mark and then say maybe message, or I can say error. Let me put message. Okay, let's say error. Error equals equals wrong user name. You can write any message that you want. Okay, maybe wrong username, like that. Though it's not supposed to have space in the link, but no problem. So I'll make sure that the user does not go beyond here. So what do? You die. You put the die or the exit. So it means that if someone enters a wrong username, it will send him back to the login page with this error. So if he goes back, then he can maybe put here, maybe say good to go. If he passes that condition, we put here maybe good to go. So I save. Let me refresh now. You see, I've been sent back to the login page. Okay, I've been sent back to the login page, but the message is in the link. I'm not displaying it. So let us go ahead and display this message that is the link. I want to display it here. So remember this page, someone will come at first time while there is no message. So we need not to display a message. So if I want to display a message only when it is in the link, this is what I do. You come to the login page here, login.php. I want to display the message here. I want to display the message here. My message, I want to display it here. Maybe I want to display it here. Okay, here. Okay, I want to display it there. So I will have to first design how the message should look like. So, or the interface, the user interface of message. I will simply say UI. I'll simply say div. Okay, and then put maybe class alert, and then put here maybe b tag and say error, and say oops. Oops. Okay, and then I want to put here the error that is in here, that is in this link. So if you want to access things that are in the link using PHP, this is how you access them. Alert danger. Danger will look red. So this is how you access things that are in the link. You just simply put question mark and down open PHP. By the way, if you want to display something in the PHP, you can just simply put like this, okay? So this one will be able to display something directly without even using the word echo. So I want to display something that is in the link named what? Named error. So I just simply say, so to access things that are in the link, you access them like this. You use get. You use $_get with capital letter, and then you put with capital letter, and then you put what you want to display. Okay, so it will display a value that has come through the link, this one that we sent. It will display it from this side. Okay, so if I refresh, you can see, oops, wrong username. It's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. Oops, wrong username. As simple as that. So now what if someone comes for the very first time? Let us say someone comes to the landing page and then he clicks on login. So you'll get an error. Okay, why? You're trying to display an error that is not there. So that's a what? An error. So what am I going to do? I'm going to first check if this error is set. That is only when I'll do what? I'll display it. So how do you do that? So I'm going to surround this bracket with the if condition. So I just simply say PHP. Remember, PHP is the one that's going to do that logic. PHP like this, and say if. So if you want to check something is set in PHP, right? Is set like this, okay? And then you open bracket and then say get error. So I'll check if the error is set. That is when I'll execute this bracket. So how will I say that it should start from here up to here? I just simply put here, open the curly bracket, and then I'm going to close it from here in the bottom. So I'll come here and say PHP, and then close it from here. So I've closed it. So that is how. So it means that if the error is not set in the get, it will not display this section. So if I come and refresh, I come for the first time, there is no error. I enter there garbage, I submit, you see, it goes the other side, it processes, it does not find the information in the database, it sends me back, it displays the error. That is beautiful, most especially for the beginners. So I put wrong information, wrong username or password. So that's so beautiful. So let us proceed with more things. So after doing that, so let's go ahead and put now the correct username, JP, and then the password. Let us put wrong password, okay? Let us put wrong password, okay? Submit. Can you see? Good to go. So when I put correct username, it gives me good to go. So now at least we now have more than one row in the database. Now we're going to collect that row from the database, okay? So to collect that row from database, we just simply say, I can say maybe row equals to, then you use this resource that came back, this guy. So I'm putting this one after checking if there is something, okay? And then I say fetch underscore assoc. So this one means that it should fetch for us the associative array. So I'll comment this guy. I'm not deleting because I'll share with you this code and you can be able to do what? Maybe play with it. That's why I'm commenting. So let's go ahead and do some print underscore r to see what is inside there. So if I come, so this is how we get the data, how we seed data from what? From database. We say the resource that has come back, then we say fetch assoc. Fetch assoc means fetch associative array. So if I come and refresh, sorry, I have to remove this die. If I come and refresh, you see, beautiful. We have got someone's data, his name, his username, his password, his country. Okay, so now we need to check. First, he has passed the first condition. He exists on our database. So after knowing that he exists on our database, the next thing we have to check if he does what? If we have to check if uh, this password is correct. Okay, but remember our password is hashed, so you cannot say. Remember, okay, let's see the password that he has sent. So the password that he has sent, how can we get it? It is here. I've already got it. So if I want to, this is the password that he has sent. Okay, so this is the password that he has sent. I'm using this Laravel thing. Okay, this is the password that he has sent. Okay, but this is what we have in the database. This is what we have in the database. This one. So we're going to compare if these passwords are equal. So as I told you, you cannot compare, but by using is this equal to this, we cannot do that to compare. But we are going to use a PHP engine to tell us is the password correct or not. Remember, you have this hash or this hash that you don't understand. No one understands it. So it is only PHP that will tell us that it is correct or not. Even it does not understand it. So let us go ahead and collect this hash. So this hash is in the what? Is in this row. Okay, so let us go ahead and collect it, and you see it is an array. So to collect that hash, so I can put maybe say hash, maybe password hash, password underscore hash, anything that you want equals to row, and then you specify password. Okay, so I'll be able to get the hash here. So I can just simply put the 2 by just simply maybe putting here like this. This is how we concatenate space. So I'm just trying to let us look at the 2. So if I refresh, you see this is the password that has been submitted, and this is the hash that is on our database that is assigned to this username. So now the next task is, now we need to check, is this password correct? Okay, so as I told you, it is the task of PHP to do it, since we don't know the meaning of this hash. So we use a function again, which is inbuilt in PHP, called password verify. So if the password is correct, it will give you a true, it will return true. If it is wrong, it will give you false. So here I'm fetching, I'm collecting the hash, and then I'm going to check now the second condition. If password verify, okay, so it will take 2 parameters. The first parameter, it will take the real password string, which is this one that has come from the what? From the form. So you pass it here. Okay. The second parameter, it will take the hash that is in our database. So I'll get this guy, the hash that we've got from the row that came from the database, from the fetcher. So we pass it here. So if it returns for us true, you can do like this. You can check like this, true. But this is amateur way of doing things, but it is okay. Okay, I understood to understand. So I'm checking if this it returns is equal to true, then I'll know it is success. Okay, success. And then if it is not equal to true, I'll come here and say wrong password. Wrong password. So let's go ahead and refresh. You see, wrong password. So let me do the opposite. So I'll put here, because I don't want to execute the else part, it is wastage of time. So I just want wastage of space. I'll just say if it is not, I put in here. So it means it's going to be the opposite. So this one has to come on top, and this one have come to bottom. Okay, so wrong password. So it's still the same. So now if you provide to us the wrong password, we have to send you back to the login page and tell you enter the what? The wrong password. So I don't need even this else part, because I'm going to redirect the person back. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead. So if you fall in this bracket, maybe your password did not return true. So you see, those are the two functions that you need to keep your eye on. The first one is password hash. The second is password verify. The first one, it creates the encryption. The second, it checks if the string that you provided is correct compared to the encryption. So there is no need of your hands and to tell you true or false. So now let us say, in case this person gives bad encryption, you have to send him back to the login page and tell him that, hey, you entered wrong information, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll come here and put location back, and here we just change the error to wrong password. Beautiful. It's really beautiful, isn't it? Okay. So I save, refresh, wrong password. That's so nice. So I put again correct username, wrong password, submit, wrong password. And you'll see it is executing it very fast. And you cannot even tell that you were even redirected. I put wrong username. You see, wrong username. So give yourself this challenge and see if you'll not be able to do these things. They're really, really simple, as I've just explained them. Give yourself a challenge and see if they are not simple. They are really simple. So there we go. There we are. I put wrong password. Let's put correct username, wrong password. Yeah. Let's put wrong username, correct password. Yeah. So everything is okay. Let us put correct username, correct password. Password is 1234, I think. You see, success. So that's how you can do what? You can authenticate. Okay. Now we proceed now. Now you're here at success. So it means that you've successfully logged in. So I can maybe redirect you to what? To the admin panel after here. So I can just simply redirect you to the admin panel by just simply putting here and then put admin. I remove this error. Okay, and die. So that is it. So let's go ahead and refresh. Welcome to admin. So that is it. That is it. That is it. Now I hope you now know the basics of what? Of database and PHP and the whole logic. Now we're going to proceed to the real business that brought us SQL injection. So right now, if I put wrong things, I'm redirected back. Wrong username, wrong password. I don't want to type in anytime. Let us just put here some values so that it should be automatically entering, to avoid this multiple typing. So I can put here value, JP, and then I can put here value 1, 2, 3, 4. This is just for demonstrating, but don't do this in your real world application. So when I put correct things, it takes me to the correct page that welcome to the admin. Now let us look at the SQL injection. So if I put wrong password, okay, I'm being sent back wrong password. If I put, wrong username. If I put wrong password, I'm sent back to wrong password. Should I put correct username, correct password? So now let us see, can we hack this? How can we hack? Since it is protected, I cannot use wrong username, I cannot use wrong password. It is protected. Now, can you use SQL injection to do what? To hack, most especially using username. So let us go ahead and our slider. Let us go back to our slider and look at different scenarios of SQL injection. Okay, so we have the first type of SQL injection. Someone should mute their microphone. Okay, so this is the first type of SQL injection. So the first type of SQL injection is based on the fact that 1 is always equal to 1. So it means that if someone knows this, they can simply hack into our system. So we want to see if we can hack if you don't know the username, the system, without you knowing the username, by using the SQL injection. So let us first understand SQL injection, how I've written it, or how most programmers who are lazy, how they write it. Let us first look at our SQL. So this is our SQL. Where is it? Here. Let me dump it. Die SQL. So let's go back, to our form and submit. So you see, this is our SQL. This is the SQL. Select all from users where JP. So we want to design it in a way that we make something to be always 1. So it can get for us a correct, so that it can always be correct. Because right now, if you provide a wrong username, it will not allow us to do what? To proceed. So I know if I add here, so if I add here, or one equals to 1. So if you've ever learned studied combinations, you will know that if one of these execute, or if one of these is true, then it means that the column is true. For the AND, it means that if both of them are true, then it will if both of them, if one of them is wrong, then it means that it will not bring true. So we are going to trick this SQL so that it can display, or it can be considered to be, or 1 equal to 1. So we are going to do it together. So logically, what we're going to do right now, we want to hack this system. What we're going to do right now, we are going to target here, since we know, or since we can guess that our user has the weak point from here. Okay, so we're going to target from there. We are going to stop this guy's SQL, this guy's username, by putting this apostrophe like this. So by doing like that, it will have closed this one. Okay, and then we put O, okay, and put O, and then you open our other own apostrophe like this one, and then we close this one, and then we equate it. Okay, and then you put 1 like this. Okay, so I know that this person must have closed it for me here, so I don't need again to put the closing, because to mess with the SQL. So if I successfully insert this here, I mean if I successfully insert this column, I mean insert this piece of characters, okay, what will be the result of this SQL? The result will be select all from muting awo muganda wange, where, hope you can see my screen. Can you? Username equals to JP, and then ours start kicking in, ours start kicking in. So it come and put here, and then say O, and then open 1, and then it closes, and then equals to 1 like this, and then it closes. So it means that if one of these is correct, this SQL will do what? Will execute. So what does it mean? It means that this is the missing thing that we need to add, so that it should always be what? It should always be true. So did you understand that? Is it making sense? I want someone to, yes or no? I want us to trick. Okay, is it making sense? Can someone respond? Are you understanding, guys? Are you trying to relate to what I'm talking about?
We are understanding, sir.
Okay, that is good. So we want to trick this lazy programmer, and we see how he can insert. You see, I've tried to demonstrate step by step. Okay, so let's go ahead and do what we have just done right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove the die. Okay, now refresh. Now let's put any wrong username. See, that's wrong username. Now let us, according to what we drew, what do we need to do? If you still remember, I need to stop the other guys. Username. You see, this is the wrong username, right? Then after stopping it, the next thing I need to put my O condition, because the O will always, if one of them is true, it will always be true. Then I say maybe open bracket, I say 1, and then I close it. I mean open the curly bracket, I just say 1, and then I close it, and I say equals to 1, sorry, open, and then say 1. So I know this person must have closed for me, so I don't need, because I'm, you know where I'm starting, eh? So I don't need to again to close it. And when I submit, success. Did you see that? Was the username correct? So that is how we can hack a certain system if it is prone to SQL injection. I want
We beg
to.
your pardon, sir.
You beg my pardon.
We did not see.
You did not see. Open your eyes very wide for the last time, because I want you to understand this. We're going to do real world systems. So, okay, we have our system, well protected. I can enter wrong username, it will kick me back. Wrong username, it will kick me back. Enter wrong password, it kicks me back. Then you say, yeah, I've designed a right system. When you enter everything is correct, it takes us, welcome to the admin page. So I've successfully logged in, unless I enter something that is correct. So, but we want to test if this system is has weakness on SQL to SQL injection. We're using this fact that 1 is always equal to 1. So that's what we want to test. So I'm going to do what? I'm going to write a logic, or we're going to design a logic that is going to trick this system and make 1 equal to 1 so that it can do what? It can execute. So let's go ahead and do that. But before we do that, let us first display the SQL that this person is using so we can design it together. Okay? So I want to display here the SQL before I execute it. So I submit. This is the SQL. So you open your eyes very wide so you can understand for this small last time. Okay, so where is the weakness in this SQL? I'm going to demonstrate now for the one more last time. So the weakness in this SQL is here, the first weakness. The first weakness is here. Here, in between this username, okay? So that is where the first weakness is. So if I can successfully insert there my SQL, I can base on something of if one of the condition of O is correct, it will always be true. Okay, for example, if 2 equals to 1 or 1 equals to 1, this, let me ask you logical operations, what will this bring? Is it true or false? What will this one execute? I want a lady to tell me this operation.
True.
Is it true or false? True or false?
True.
What's your name?
Josephine.
Okay, Josephine, I want to give you 3 marks. How are you, Josephine?
I'm okay.
That is good. So it is true. This is true. Because once 1 is true, Josephine, don't close your microphone. So once 1 is correct, then it is true, right? Though even though this one
Yes.
is wrong, right? Are we together?
Yes.
Okay, so let us go ahead and do another thing. I want to take you a little bit back. So if we have another condition like if 1 equals to 1, and then you have here and 1 equals to 2. Josephine,
Yes.
Josephine, don't mind about my handwriting. Is this true or false? You need to return true or false?
That's false.
That is false. Why?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, because the and evaluates to true if both conditions are true.
Correct. Clap hands for yourself. Okay, thank you so much. Now you can mute. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we are going to base on these logical operations and see how we can put here, we can find here some weakness. Okay, so I'm going to, let us design it together. What we are going to do, we are going to base on this where I'm pointing between the P and the name. I'm going to stop whatever I've entered, so it means that I don't know the first things. Okay, I stop it by putting the extra the quotation, the single quote, and then I put my logical operator that I know is always true by simply saying I put or, since Josephine has told us, and say or, and then I open the and say maybe 2 is equal to, and then I open here 2, and then I don't close this last one, because if I close the last one, it means that there will be 2 quotations that have been closed, and then I will mess up the SQL and get the error. So what is the result? We'll end up come up with something like this: select all from users where username equals to JP. Okay, then our what? Our logic kicks in, right? Our logic kicks in by stopping now the SQL, and then after we do that, we go ahead and say or 1, or I say or maybe 2 equals to 2. If I use 1, memorize that is always 1, but that's just a rule statement. Okay, so that is will be the results if I add this one into this. So it means that the database will see this one as always to true, since one of them is what is correct. So did we understand that? I want someone to respond, then we'll go ahead and did you
Yes, yes.
you've understood it, eh? So it
Mm.
means that we just need to find a way how we add this into the form. So if this guy has weakness in his SQL, we'll do what? We'll be able to execute. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll remove the comment. I come back, I refresh, and then let's now do our logic. So I put the wrong username there. I don't know the username. Eh? I put wrong username, and then I go ahead and stop his username. I stop where it is, and then I go ahead and put or, and I put 1, or I can say 2 is equal to 2. I don't close it. Why I don't close it? Because if I close it, then it means that I'll have 2 at the end, 2 quotation, and then it will end up causing the error. So by doing like this, it's going to end up with the SQL that we have discussed about. So if I submit, you see, I've successfully logged into the page, even though I put the wrong username. So did we understand that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for understanding faster. So that is one way of how you can check if something is prone to SQL injection or not. So there are so many ways. It's not just only about logging in. You can see people's marks. You can see what you're not supposed to see. Maybe if someone said maybe he gave you a filter where he say search by, and then he gives you something where you can type something like that. So let us say that let me show you here one of the systems that we did. I hope it is on. Okay, I'll show it to you. Just I want just show you how this thing can become really big. It does not only stop at SQL injection. Okay. Okay. So it's one of the systems that we built.
nga dawana bayo bali mu bakusegeratinga bintu Kata mutinze.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Hold us mute. Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ask.
Yeah. What we've just seen, does it only work under conditions when we don't know the username, but we know the password?
It can work in so many ways. That's what I want to demonstrate to you. I want to show you how you can use it as it for fun.
Tutandika na zakatende zonna system zagize. So ngina ziyingira.
I'm not saying the system.
Imlala verbaili.
Okay, so let me open it from here. Faster. Okay, the system is off. I don't have it on this machine. I'm not able to see it. Okay, the whole point is, let me open it from Explorer. It is here. Observatory webs. Okay, let me use the online version. Okay, now I want to show you how things can be really interesting. So this is one of the things that we built. I'll show you. Okay, so I was trying to tell you here, for example, let us say that okay, here. Okay, so this is one of the database that we built, then one of the system. But I want you to understand this. If this system is prone to SQL injection, let us say it is a university system, it is having issue with SQL injection, and they show you the marks that belong to you only. They show you only your marks, or they show you only your transaction. But unfortunately, they gave you a space where you can search, okay? But from your marks. So if it is prone from SQL injection, you can still use that search field. Like here, I can only search maybe the people who I registered. I can use the same field by putting the injection, and then I submit. So if it is prone to SQL injection, what will happen? It will bring me all the marks of other students, or all the information that even I'm not supposed to see. But in this system, we limited, we put the countermeasure of not being tricked by such injection. And that's what you're going to learn also. So you can use such a field to manipulate an existing system. That's what I want to explain. Okay, so we have understood that. That is one way. Let us proceed and look at different ways of how we can trick. We have demonstrated this. So the other way is using equal sign, empty string. So you can also use by adding, for example, select from users where username, and then you put empty, and then after putting empty, you equate it also to another empty, and then you put the other password. So it will also do the same thing. I want to do something that is totally different because we're out of time. Okay, so there is this other dangerous injection. it drops the database. It drops a table in the database. Really, really, really what? Really dangerous. So let us go ahead and see how it can be dangerous. So I'm going to drop that database. I mean the table. We are going to try to attempt to drop the what? The table. Okay. So how shall we do that? Let's go ahead and trick it. So I'll come here. Let me first export my table because I don't want to lose the data. Let me first export this table. So so you don't lose the data later. So another way, another injection, another dangerous one is for deleting. So let us also again design it together and we see how we can delete maybe someone's table or your table. How can they can be deleted by someone if you did not consider mitigating SQL injection. So we are going to design something like this, right? So let's design it together. So let's go ahead and put correct username. So that's the SQL that we know will be executed. So we are going to design it again. We're going to target the same place. We're going to target the same place. Okay. So we're going to target there. Let me bring the illustrator. Okay. So we're going to target here, right? Here between. We are going to target here. Here. So what you're going to do, you're going to stop the guy's first input and then put a semicolon, meaning that the SQL has stopped from there. Okay. Oh, so where username equals to that, then it stops from there. Then after doing that, we go ahead and now drop the table, right? If we know its name. And then after what? After, so that is very dangerous, right? After doing that, then we go ahead and drop the table by putting drop table. So that's very dangerous. Even though you have a million data there, a million rows in your table, it will not survive. So drop table and then put the table. We can guess the tables. So you can guess so many tables. Once you know the guy in his system, he has SQL injection. So you can table the default names that can be used for table. So I know many people use users as table name. Okay, users. Okay, then you close what? The SQL. I know here there will be a what? A explanation mark, but we will see. If it does not throw an error, then we'll come and take care of it. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to stop his SQL like this by putting what is remaining and then after we write our malicious SQL. So if that system is prone to SQL injection, it means that the table is not survive. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. Refresh. Let's go ahead and design it together. So we'll stop where his thing is stops, or can say maybe username what, and then I stop the query, then I stop the whole SQL. I stop it. So that is a batch SQL execution, and then I go ahead and say drop table users. I stop it. Okay, so I hope it will not bring an error because I know there is one that is going to remain here, that thing, but if it disturbs, we'll come and take care of it. Okay, are we together, guys? Can I get some confirmation feedback?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and execute. Okay, I know I expected this. But let us see if the users table did survive. So I come to my bank. It survived. Okay, let's go ahead and take care of the remaining exclamation mark. So how can you take care of it? You can also do some select maybe all from users where one equal to one. So I know the other last one will close this one. Okay, so I know the remain. I just want to validate it. I know the remaining one will close. Okay, so I execute it. What are they saying? Syntax. Let us see. There's a problem with syntax. It is drop table users. Drop table users. Then you have select from users. Yeah, let's see. There's a problem with the syntax, but the whole problem is you have to figure how to execute that syntax and we execute batch. So this is how our SQL looks like. So select all from users where username is equal to this, where username, so this is correct. Drop table users and then select. Okay, let us try to execute it direct and see what could be the problem. Yeah, it is still executing. Let's go ahead and run it directly from the server and see how we can do it. So it is on the same row. I think that MySQL database protected cannot execute SQL select and drop on the same row. Maybe. Okay, so select all from users where, then say drop table users. Just run it. Okay. So this table does not exist. What's the name of
Maybe
our
you
table?
dropped it already.
What's the name of our table? It's been deleted already.
Yeah, you dropped the table the first time you wrote that.
But on the interface, I still see it. It is gone.
It's gone.
Shit.
Database.
So that's the whole point. It is no longer existing. So that is how you can run. So the whole point is you have to figure how you creatively do something like this. You stop this guy's SQL from here. So basing on the fact that my SQL or some database can run batch or a number of SQL in the same statement, basing on that fact, you stop this guy's SQL properly by inserting this and this semicolon, then go ahead and write a malicious SQL. Drop table this. Then after, if you don't want it to for the maybe the system to throw an error, something like that, you can go ahead and see how you make the other remaining quotation mark. The other remaining quotation mark. You take care of it also. Okay, so you take care of it by writing select all from maybe the table that you think is there, where this equal to that, and then you just write only this, and then you take care of this one. So you know this will be dropped, and then to just try to check if this one exists. But while this has been dropped, so what my SQL does, it executes things step by step. It will first execute this one. Okay, after that it goes and execute this one, which is not right way. So that is the second way of how you can do SQL injection on a system, or how SQL injection can be done on your system. Really, really dangerous. Really dangerous. If you have a system, maybe for school, and someone come and delete maybe school fees payments for the whole term. So you have to be careful about that. All right. So, but those are small things that have been taken care of. That is batch insertion. Then another thing, based on what? we have looked at this. Okay, based on comment. Based on comment, another way, but this one you'll try it by your time, by yourself, because I see time is against us. So another way is based on what? On comment. So in SQL you have what we call comment. So you can as well comment. You just go ahead and comment the remaining information. So if you're having a system like this one, maybe they are showing you your transactions only. What you can do, you can go ahead, if you have a field of searching, you go ahead and stop the SQL and then comment, okay, the remaining part. So if you had where this is equal to that, or where this is equal to the other, this, by putting these two lines like this one, this, by putting this line, these two dashes, it will comment the remaining condition. So if they limit you from seeing other people's information, by use of this, you can comment the remaining condition. By use of this, you can comment the remaining condition. By use of this, you can comment the remaining condition. But that can be your homework. So those are the different ways we can demonstrate SQL injection. You can go ahead and search more on internet, read in books about SQL what? SQL injection, and be knowledgeable about it. So let us go ahead and look at maybe two methods of how we can get of how, not read, but how we can reduce the risks of SQL injection. So how can we get, so according to theory, we have using use SQL parameters, detection of malicious characters, escaping, pattern check, database permissions. Okay, so I'm going to choose two that I'm going to demonstrate that are very crucial. So one that I'm going to use is using parameters. So, or what we call stored procedures. Is it called prepared statements? Sorry. So using prepared statements, or what we call parameters, it will help us not to do SQL injection, whereby we'll design a template of our SQL how it should look like. So anything that is outside that SQL, or anything that is outside that template that we have designed, it will not be considered. It will be considered a what? A hack, and it will be skipped. So that is what we call stored procedure. We are going to demonstrate it right now. Another thing, you can use malicious detection. So when you're receiving the what? The information from here. So before you execute your SQL, first check if the username is clean. I don't know whether you've ever tried to register maybe on a certain platform like Google. When you're trying to register at Google and then you try to put a character, they'll say that, hey, we don't allow this character to be in an email. Why? Because they are trying to get rid of what? Of SQL injection. So you can first check some malicious characters like apostrophe that can tamper with our SQL injection. We have already seen those characters like exclamation mark, like semicolon, like closing bracket, like a hyphen. So those characters that can tamper with our SQL injection, you may first get rid of them. So you may not allow them to be registered on your platform as maybe a username or what, or you may limit them when someone tries to register it in your database. First check, does it contain a certain character? If it contains, then send the user back and say, hey, we don't allow this, maybe in the password or in the username. You may, most especially in the username, you may stop such kind of characters. So if someone tried to put exclamation mark, if someone tried to put apostrophe in you try to put O with space, someone tried to put space. You see some username, they don't allow space. Why? Because they know if you give you space ability to enter space, then you'll be able to space your what? Your SQL injection, which is not good way. So you should be able to do what? To limit some characters, most especially when you're accepting the username. Let the username don't have explanation. I mean, apostrophe. Let the username don't have space. Let the username don't have equal sign. Let the username don't have the curly bracket. Let the username be plain text with no special character. Let the username be numbers only. So when you're going to, when this person submit, when he's trying to log in, check is this username only special. Does it contain special character before you even run that SQL to database? If it does, send the guy back. If you said my username must be maybe numbers, so if this person sends something that is not a number, what do? Send them back. So that is one way. I mean, the other way, one of the ways. Another way is by escaping, and I'm going to show you how we can do that escape. Another way is by checking the pattern. Is the pattern right? And another way is by database permission. So database permission, you see, I did my things in a lazy way. I accepted the user who selects is the same user who deletes, is the same user who drops. So what do? You have to limit your database permission. You have to create a user who is responsible for only selecting. So if someone tries to log in, you use the user who has the right of only what? Of only select. Don't use the user who has the right to drop. So if someone tries to drop something, using the user who is allowed to select, it means that the system will not what? Will not allow that person. You see? It means that the system will not allow that person. So when you're creating user here, you can add what we call permissions. That is where you can allow someone to drop or to select only when you're creating the user. So you can go deep into that. So another way is permission. I've finished that. So I'm going to demonstrate two. I think our time is up, but I'm going to be a little bit fast and demonstrate the two ways. One way, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to use a parameter of prepared statements, and the other way, I'll demonstrate to you how to use escape to get rid of SQL injection. So we have this. So PHP has its own way, and then also just search here prepared statement. So it is a PHP thing. So they will tell you also about what prepared statements. So the advantage of prepared statement, it is just you're designing a template. So in case someone does something out of that prepared statement, the system will not do what? Will not allow them. Okay. So let us see how we can use prepared statement. Okay. Okay, so let us see how we can use prepared statement. So this is how we do it. So I'll come here. So this is how we use prepared statement. I'll comment. So maybe when I share the source code, you're able to see. So instead of you writing your plain SQL like this, you will not be free. You will be haunted. Do something like this. Okay. Just say statement equals to connection. Where's our connection? It is here. Okay, so it says use MySQL, so it just put MySQL, and then say prepare, and then here we just put select all from users. Okay, users. Okay, so select all from users. So what do we need to select? We need to select the username. I mean select all from users where, okay, username. Okay, so where username, and then you put equals to question mark. Okay, so that is a template. So it means that anything that is outside of this, it will not do what? It will not be allowed. Okay. So after doing that, then later you bind it. So it means that here you'll have prepared your statement in a certain specific template. So this is static, it will not change. So anything that will come will have to be replaced in this question mark. Where you see a question mark, it is where the replacement will be. You can use this one for inserting, you can use it for selecting. So after designing your template like this, then you have to bind it. So I'm going to bind it by just simply saying statement and then say bind param. So here you pass the field that you want to feed in. So I know I want to feed in what? In the username, because it is where the question mark is. So I put here the username. So it means that PHP will do the logic and sorry, bind and I pass the username. Why is it complaining? Let's see. I don't know why it's complaining. Okay, so I don't know, we'll see. So the whole point is this one will be replaced in this space. Otherwise, if it does not do that, then it will do what? It will, if someone enters anything that tried to hack it, the PHP will not allow him. So after you have to execute the statement, by doing statement execute. Yeah, I hope it is right, because okay, so let us go ahead and refresh. I think, let me see if there is another way. PHP prepared statement, select SQL. Yeah, so bind. I think we did it the right way. Let's use this guy. So we wrote our statement, select all from users where username equals question mark, and then we say connection prepare. So our connection is this. So we pass the SQL and then we bind the username with what? With the username. Yeah, here like this. Okay, then we execute and then you'll get the what? The results. Just like the way we did the other time. Okay, let me see if it's correct. Okay, let's hope it is correct. Refresh. Are they saying number of elements? It's supposed to be 1. I don't know why it's showing me. Pass, yeah. I don't know why it is showing me that. Number of elements in the table string must match with the number of bindings. So I have here select all from user where username equals to 1. Yes. And here I pass 1. Okay. Oh, I have to specify the number of bindings. Sorry. I have to specify. So if I have 2 bindings, I have to put here 2 bindings. So it is that strict. Bind agent must be contained. Let me put as it is here. Hope it is okay now. Undefined variable results. Go to the resource. So that's the whole point. Can you see it? Can you see it, guys? So if you do it, let me explain it again. So here I'm designing the template. So anything that is outside this template will not be allowed. So if someone tried to hack, try to do anything, and try to put something that is out of this template, it will not be allowed. So I'm saying that only this will be replaced. Let us say like maybe you want even to check for the username. You can put even and username equals to question mark. I mean, sorry, maybe ID equals question mark. So it means that you'll have to pass here also the ID as a third parameter. So that is how you do it. So what is happening here, it will first create this template, and then after creating this template, then it will prepare this statement. So it is going to be static. Even though someone changes the SQL and put their injection, it will not allow it. Then here it will bind it. I don't know the meaning of this I. And then by the whole point here, you pass now the parameters how they are in order here. So here we promise that we'll give it username. So I give it username. So if this person try to trick us and maybe try to stop the username and then try to maybe drop, so it means that whatever he's going to put is going to be here. And the power of SQL prepared statement, it will not allow to execute something that is not in this format. Hence, it will protect you from what? From SQL injection. Then you see here, I execute it. This is how you execute it. So it is not the same way that we did the other time. So execute the statement. Then here you get your resource. And once you have your resource, you can do the fetch ASOC to get the what? To get the results. So once you have the raw, you can do anything that you want to do with it. I'll share with you this source code so you can maybe go ahead and learn more. So that is how you can get rid of what? Of SQL injection by use of what? Of prepared statement. This prepared statement is available for inserting. Even when you want to insert, someone can inject the SQL. So you can use it for inserting. You can use it for what? For selecting. So internet is always open. Come and search anything that you want. So you can see I'm able to retrieve data by using. So let us go ahead and try to hack it. So here I'm putting the wrong information, right? I'm putting the wrong username. So when I try to submit, it doesn't what? It doesn't allow me. Right? That's it. Put wrong username. Am I limiting it? Wrong username, wrong username, wrong username. Where? Username equals to question mark. Execute. To showing me everything. I don't know
Excuse
why.
me, sir. The problem is with the parameter you're binding it with.
Is the username supposed to come
It should
first?
be an integer.
An
So
integer.
it's supposed to be S to me.
I tried integer, it refused.
No, it's supposed to be S instead of I.
S. String.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I is for integers. Yeah, thank you for that observation. So it is that strict that even how to specify the data type. Yeah, thank you for that observation. And I think we'll call it a day. So try to also do the what? Try to do the escaping by yourself. Escaping is very, very simple. Escape is very simple. Just come and search PHP my SQLi real escape strings. So on PHP website they'll show you, or on PHP on W3 schools they'll show you how you can use escape string. So the whole point of escape string, it will do what? It will get rid of the dangerous characters before it executes the what? The SQL. So that one you will try it by yourself. But for today, we'll stop from there, and I'll receive your questions in 3 minutes. Dr. Drake is not there, so I'll receive your question in 5 minutes, and then we'll call it a day. Someone says, who is Katende Nicholas? Katende Nicholas, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
You say you tried to hack someone, you logged in successfully. Eh? True?
Yeah, but not on the students portal.
But somewhere you logged in.
Yeah, I gave myself messages.
You see? So you can go ahead and drop stuff. So that is carelessness. Okay, I'm looking into comments. Okay, yeah, that is good. You've tried it. So don't also fall into the same pit. Actually, thanks for the class. Okay, thank you for appreciating. Who is this one? Semakula. I want to see if there's any question in the chat before we leave. Let me log out immediately. Hey, someone else tried it. Talimba. Now people are installing Kali. It's okay. Okay, thank you for these good comments. Is it possible for a wrong user to grant and revoke privileges? Yeah, it depends on your experience. If you become really an expert, you can do really crazy things. You can drop. So the whole point is we have introduced this to you to know. All right. To conclude our today's class, I would like to conclude in this way. Put your messages. Put your IDs in the chat as the final registration. I would conclude this way. I would say programming is not very simple if you don't program, and I would recommend at least each of you to try programming, because with programming, once you understand it properly, you cannot really be broke. You cannot be broke, because the point is simple. If you don't get a job, you can do your own work. You can do your own ideas. So it's not like other kind of jobs like teaching, that you must first get an institute. No, the point is, if you don't get a job, you do your own your own ideas, and at the end of the day, you can survive. So programming is really a good deal, and it is very simple to learn programming. So that's it for today. Those who may need to contact me, I put my number in the comment section, and I share the videos. I have also a YouTube channel. Let me first stop this video. I have a YouTube channel